So basically, Oracle Fusion and cloud applications, right? So, earlier, Oracle will have, the procurement suite, and but it is also not, the fully, but Oracle use, and then after that, Oracle acquired, couple of, the product, and after that they, move, they strategize their strategy, because EBS and now in today's date, right? There's a need to have the cloud, so they develop this product. This product is still if I would say in all of the areas is not yet the matured enough, but it's quite enough developed now, based on the inputs we shared, or during the implementation team shared, customer share the feedbacks. So they are taking the inputs, and after that now product is quite stable now. And whatever we do have earlier the challenges in the EBs, or let's say the technical team or development time, so everything getting changed when customer move to the Oracle cloud. So they simplified, and now they are working towards the generative AI. So they are trying to use the AI also in all the areas, whether it's supply chain, it's manufacturing side also, they have the IoT. So if any manufacturing companies, do they have the sensors supported the Oracle, so they can integrate all those IoT devices, so that they can monitor within the manufacturing cycle as well. And even though if there are any breakdown, any service, anything, so getting captured. As well as Oracle also supporting the blockchain. So let's take example, if you are keep tracking your shipping, then entire the map, you can globally check your shipping, where are your shipments, whether it's delivered, not delivered, any failure, you can get it within the application itself. So it is very useful. Now let's move. So basically, what is Oracle Fusion and the cloud, right? So earlier, it's called as a Fusion. Now it's called as a cloud. Okay, so basically both are the same. Just they enhance the product. So now it's become as a cloud. Okay, cloud is generally you can access the environment from wherever you are, whether it's a mobile, tablet, or maybe you are dedicated locations in India, or you are into the US, or maybe you are traveling, you can access this application. Now there are the couple of versions, right? So let's take an example, that SaaS, right? Software as a service, right? So it is called as a the public cloud. So basically it's hosted to the the servers, and client or team can access their dedicated servers only. If they want restricted to their premise, then they can go with the IaaS, right? So which is called as a infrastructure as a service, where Oracle. So you have to take the SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. Then only you can use. So you have to take the licenses also. Then you can restrict, like EBS. We have our own servers in our premises, and if you go outside the premise, you won't be able to access until unless you have the dedicated VPN of it. Rather than the IaaS, SaaS, you can access from anywhere, but there are couple of supported VPN also coming into the market, where you can implement and integrate. So until unless you have the VPN, you can connect, and then you can use it. Even though you can configure the IPs also, so dedicated IP will be supported, then only application, or that within the range it will open. So all those there are lots of features coming. Generally we do have the questions in our mind, right? What about the database? So data, banking industries, or if I talk about where the government entities, do they have the requirement that I don't want to expose my data, because it's on the Oracle servers, and they can access my data, I don't want it to be exposed, I want my own servers. So all those such scenarios, Oracle will have the DBAS, right? Database as a service. So where they can, take entire, the families, and they can go ahead and they can implement. So generally in those cases, they have to manage. So client basically has to manage, database, entire the services. Oracle will do the support. Whereas, the SaaS, Oracle does, all the patching activity, even though they do all the troubleshooting, they manage your servers, even though cloning activity and entire stuff. So those are the, the differences basically. So basically the Oracle Fusion part is, the Oracle Fusion. So basically we will cover the product families. Then we cover, the Oracle Fusion middleware, then Oracle Fusion application, OFA, technology differences between the EBS and OFA, product supported release for Fusion upgrade, skill requirement for Fusion consultant, and configure and extend Oracle family of composers, right? So we'll talk about entire, the content, the parts. So if you see Oracle Fusion application is a suite, right, of enterprise resource planning software application from Oracle Corporation and Oracle Next Generation Suite, right, of application, because it's the next generation technology application that eventually, replace EB suite, right? It will, assimilate best of breed features from Oracle EBS, right? So basically, what Oracle does, basically Oracle acquired, the product, or what Oracle do they have, the best product, running product. They opted all those features and integrated with this Oracle Cloud. So whether their SOA services, or if we talk about, the PeopleSoft, right, which is quite, known for the HRMS, right? So if you look at in the market, right, globally the trend, HRMS is most popular, product from the Oracle. And lot of customers are implementing the HRMS. Oracle, Fusion application were envisioned, right, and pitched as an enterprise resource planning, a combination of features, functionality taken from Oracle EBS Suite, JD Edwards, as I mentioned, the PeopleSoft, and Siebel product. So you mostly aware that, what all products involved, when they envision this product for the customers. The suite is built on top of the Oracle Fusion middleware, right? So it's entire, built on the Fusion middleware technology stack. Both layers implement the Oracle Fusion architecture, which leverage the capabilities of service-oriented architectures. So basically, whatever the JD Edwards functionality, the best suited, they have opted and they implemented. So as a Fusion consultant, generally, you might be aware about, where from they have taken and how they have started, right? Now, if we talk about the distributed across various product families, the financial management. So now, what Oracle Cloud will have, right? So basically, they have, the financial management. They do have, human capital management, CRM, right? So customer relationship management. They have supply chain management, procurement management, then governance, the management, and project portfolio management. So project portfolio management, right? They slowly implemented, and gradually they are enhancing the features. Same way, if we talk about the supply chain management, if we talk about the human capital management, in all the areas, they are enhancing the product capabilities. So generally, Oracle, what they have, the life cycle. So they have, quarterly patches planned. So generally, sorry, generally what they do, they have, uh, the quarterly patch planned. So based on what the features coming, they are, applying the patches to the development environment, where generally after their internal testing is done. So once they are done with their testing, and they do entire, the cycle test, then they will plan for the customer development instances. Once customer perform the testing, and during the testing, if customer feel that, any their existing functionality is not working, or it's having impacted, then they can immediately report to the Oracle. So they will hold the patches what is going to be implemented. But generally they do have the 15 days of time frame uh, to apply to the production. So if they are not hearing back from the customer, then immediately they will apply all those patches to the production environment. And after that you can opt those features. Certain features will be automatically will be enabled, but generally what Oracle will have the strategy, they don't implement such features which directly impact to the product or entire functionality. So they enable a small chunk the data, the feature. So you have to opt it, and until unless you configure or you done your setup, you perform your, it won't impact your existing transactions family. So those are the the detail behind all this product family. Now we'll come to the high level, the architecture. If you look at, right, so Oracle Fusion Financial Management. So now Fusion Financial Management will have the general ledger, then account payable AP, then they have the asset management, payment and collections, account receivable, cash and expense management, then common module. So generally, what Oracle does basically, they have the common platform, certain common features, right, across whatever the product you implement, you will have the common features. Then KPIs, dashboards, and then extensibility of the framework. Then if we talk about the human capital management support, as of now, the global human resource. Then they have the workforce lifecycle management, benefits, compensation, talent review, performance and global management, goal management, global payroll, network. Now, if we talk about the payroll, so payroll generally, Orica will not have entire payroll. They have certain, geographical payroll implemented and supported as of today, but they are planning and they are slowly migrating and rolling out, other geographical payrolls. Now coming to the KPIs. So KPIs as usual. If you look at the KPI, so the KPI dashboards, extensibility, the viewability, user familiarization towards the UI. So you can get it entire product families, whether it's supply chain. So if we talk about the supply chain management supports the product master data management, where you have the PIM, you have the configurator, then you can create all those item classes you can define. Then the distributed order orchestration, where it's supported kind of the workflow we do have in EBIS. So it's replaces by the distributed order orchestration, where you can customize, you can configure. So you need a little bit understanding about the attribute, what Oracle or maybe product support or maybe order management support on what you are trying to achieve. You can configure your own workflow and you can design. Then Oracle supply chain management will have the global order promising. They do have the inventory management, cost management, shipping and receiving, and KPIs as usual. If we talk about the project portfolio management, project portfolio management will have the project costing, project billing, project performance reporting, project control, project integration gateway. So those gateways will help to integrate from project billing to the AR. Then project contracts, and then as usual KPIs. If we talk about Oracle Fusion procurement, Oracle Fusion procurement will have the purchasing. They have a sales service procurement, sourcing, procurement contract, supplier portal, spend and performance analysis. If we talk about the Fusion CRM, so Fusion CRM will have customer master, sales, marketing, incentive, compensation, mobile and Outlook integration, territory and quotes management. Now we talk about Oracle Fusion governance, risk and compliance. So generally, most of the entities or government entities will require certain compliances to be fulfilled within the Oracle. So Oracle has introduced it to compliance the financial, whether it's a financial, it's issue and risk manager, and then access control, transaction control, configuration control, and KPIs and dashboards. So basically, if government entry is required that I want to fulfill my government certain compliance, then they can go ahead with these services. Now coming back to the Oracle Fusion is composed of two parts, right? So basically, Fusion middleware and Fusion applications. Now coming to the comprises of the Oracle application server and other technology stack components that Oracle has acquired in past few years. Fusion middleware is a family of middleware products covering the areas like Oracle Business Intelligence, Oracle Identity Management, Content Management, Service-Oriented Architecture, so on. So basically, they have integrated BI within the Oracle Fusion, and they have the identity management where you can control the restriction related to the user access, and then you have the content management where you can store your documentation and all, and then if we talk about the service-oriented architecture, that is SOA. Now coming to the Oracle Fusion application is Oracle's next generation, as I said, the application that eventually replace e-business suite. So basically, they designed this technology to replace the EBIS, but Oracle recently announced that they are supporting till 2030, and maybe beyond that they are planning. They are also working that certain tools where customer don't need to have major burden of the financial, so they can opt and go ahead with the tool if they decide. Then just all those connector has to be connected with the EBIS, and then immediately enter the data entity will be migrated to the Oracle Cloud. It will the best to breed features from the EBIS, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, and the Siebel that we have already covered. Now, more important, if we talk about as compared to the EBIS versus the Fusion application, what all the differences. So if we talk about the EBIS side, right, we do have the database 10G, and now we do have 11G database to the Oracle Fusion applications. Then application server side, if we talk about, we have the forms related to forms. So we do have application server 10.1.2, and then application server 10.1.3 OC4J. Now, if we talk about to the Fusion, Fusion is supporting the Oracle WaveLogic. User interface, if we talk about, so generally we do have in EBIS side, we have the JSPs and then forms. Now, if we talk about the Oracle Fusion, we do have the ADF, the Java server faces, right? So basically, it's designed on top of the layer of the Java, so it's more user friendly. The UI looks and feel as compared to the EBIS one. Now, if we talk about the portal, so EBIS supported as a Oracle portal, and now in Fusion application, Oracle Wave Center. So why Wave Center is because they are hosting to the publicly, and you can access from anywhere. Now, if we talk about the data model, so Oracle EBIS data model used by the EBIS application, whereas the Fusion application uses the Oracle EBIS data model as well as the Siebel and the PeopleSoft. So generally, if you looked at the entire table structure, most of the module will support it, same kind of familiarization of the table structure, but most of the table structures are entirely different as compared to the EBIS. But let's talk about the PO header ID. It remained the PO header ID, requisition header ID. It's remained the requisition header ID. So those things, taken from the Oracle EBIS data model, and it's supported to the Oracle Fusion application as well. So generally, you don't see any more challenges while designing the reports, or you are designing any integrations, so you can get it entire data within the Oracle. Now, coming back to the attachments, imaging. So, Oracle EBS use the blobs. Now, Fusion application supported the UCM. You might heard about the UCM. So, Universal Content Management. So, generally they are using all those content management where they are storing all those your data. If you are uploading the app BDIs to interface your master data, or maybe you are creating any data inside the Fusion application, entire file will be stored within the UCM server. Even though if you want any attachment to be integrated or interface from the third party application, it has to be done via the UCM only. Now coming to the workflow approval. So workflow approval, EBIS will support the PL SQL, whereas Oracle Fusion application will have the BPAL. So entire workflow will be designed based on the BPAL. It is more enhanced, uh, and the more familiarization, the business scenario you can achieve most of the things where you need complex PL SQL to be written. You don't need over when you move or implement the Fusion application. You have to just think what the business process and most of the attribute, because Oracle is enhancing their approval management as well. So most of the features are coming into the releases and you can opt it and go ahead and implement. Now reports, if we talk about, so EBIS, we have the reports, Elevra and then Discoverer. Whereas Oracle Fusion applications support the BI publisher. Now coming to the analytics side. So in EBIS, generally, if you heard that while implementation, if business required some analytics to be designed or dashboards to be designed, they are looking for the Discoverer. Whereas, Oracle Fusion application will have the OPI. So basically, it's Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition. So where you can get the OTBI if you heard Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence, where you can just drag and drop. Just you have to understanding related to the attribute, the dimensions, and then the subject areas. And if you have all those knowledge, you can drag and drop, you can design. So user is aware what they are looking for, the real time data. With having certain attributes, they can design their own. So those are the flexibility given in the Fusion application. If we talk about the financial reporting, so financial reporting, we do have the financial statement generator in the EBIS, whereas if we talk about the Fusion application, we do have the Hyperion supported. Integration, so we have the AIA. AIA is basically the Oracle application integration architecture. Sorry. Now AIA, Oracle Application Integration Architecture, then BPAL, and then Wave Services. So basically all three supported if we talk about the integration. So you decided, or business decided that they want any third party application to be integrated. Oracle does provide and support all the web services, then BPAL, and then the Oracle application integration architecture. So you can use all those services. Then XML gateway, if we talk about, so it as usual in the EBIS. Now if we talk about the Fusion side, Fusion will have the BPAL and then B2B adapter, business to business. So basically you can use all those adapter and you can communicate your file with the third party application. All right. Now coming to the product name and then release. So basically, if you decided to upgrade, so basically product supported release for Fusion upgrade. So EBS Suite is release 11.5. .10 and 12 or later. So if you are beyond that, you can migrate to the Fusion application. Then PeopleSoft, same way 8.8, 8.0, and 9.0 and or later. JD Edwards, Enterprise 1, JD Edwards, what it is. So if you look at 8.11 and 8.12 or the latter 34, and then A7.3 till the 8.0 or latter. So these are the releases the product supported, where you can go ahead and you can suggest to your business to move. If they are looking for the Fusion, you can directly say yes, you can migrate to the Fusion application. All right, now what we have, the skills. If we talk about the related to the skill technically, so the following technical skills are needed to extend, maintain, and support the various component of Oracle Fusion application. So basically, if you have technical expertise into the SQL, PL/SQL, Java, JavaScript, XML, then CSS, XSL, ADF, JSF, web services, BPAL, and AIA. If you have any of this technical expertise, you will be good to go and move. You can add one more skill set and you can work on the Fusion application. There won't be any challenges because these all, the component used within the Fusion application. Now coming to the Wave Center, then the BI Publisher, OBI, Hyperion, Asbase, WebLogic servers, Oracle Identity Management. So this is related to entire technical stuff, where if any technical decided to move on the Fusion application and pursue the new digital era, then they have any of these and they can decide and they can move on. Now, Oracle family of composers, right? So if we talk about what composers, if you heard that, Oracle will have the page composers, right? So generally in EBIS, we do all those personalizations, and we are supporting, we are configuring, and we are writing PL/SQL code. If business want that certain field to be hidden or read only, and we are just writing all those code required technical team to write down all those code, and then you are as a functional you are testing it. Now entire this change into the Fusion. So Fusion support the page composers where you can go directly, you can simply write a logic where you can hide all, read only, make, enable the field, certain field, you can trigger certain attribute based on the business username, business unit, who logged in, entire stuff you can achieve as a functional consultant. So Oracle support the data composer, they support the page composer, process composer, and report composer. So all these supported within the Oracle Fusion. So let's take an example. If you have certain requirement that from the report, it would extend or add as a hyperlink or the deep link, you can open the purchase order page or requisition page, and you don't want to give entire application access, or they don't want to give any privilege, rather than to because generally if you looked at in the business, right, AP team does not require any purchasing access, because they generally looked at the purchasing detail, right? So you can give the detail with having the report, but report will have certain attribute, and there are a lot more attributes. You cannot get it entire attribute into the bundling into the single report. So you can just hyperlink your PO header ID, and you can extend that page, so it will prompt that particular purchase order number, so they can view that rather than having direct access. They can view from the report itself. Now coming Oracle families of composers, right? So if we talk about the data composer, as we talked about the business object, then process composer, business processes, CRM app composer, and user interface. So basically, you can change related to the CRM. You can customize related to the user interface. So look and feel, the icons, springboard icons, certain things to be hidden, certain things to be removed, and color combinations, logos, right? So entire stuff you can do. And then BI composer supported within the reporting and the analytics. So this is the data composer. Basically, if you looked at how do I add new attributes that are unique to my business. So how you can enable certain attributes. So Oracle does support custom attribute as well. It's not like that. You can have only DFF attribute 1 to attribute 15, or attribute date 1 to attribute date 15. You can have the requirement from the business that they want certain things to be unique and defined, and to be captured within their custom attribute. So you can also configure the custom attribute within the application. Those provisions are there. So if you looked at with the data composer, what all things you can achieve, if you looked at that, easily create new and custom objects. So as I mentioned, it's only talk about the custom object. Yes, yes. Hello.
Sorry to disturb you in the mid. Actually, I want to know that, like, for the data composer, where we need to have to go, like, where if there is, you have said that, like, there is a configurator over there, so we have to go over there in configurator, and we will be able to do the data composer thing.
Yes, yes. So certain tools are there, and each tool will have their dedicated functionality. Let's take an example, alert. So alert will have, you can configure certain alerts which will run in the backend, and it will prompt and notify to entire user, or maybe dedicated user, or maybe any news, right? So there are certain tools. Each tools will have, the functionality. So for custom object also, you have, the tools available, which you have to enable the sandbox, and then you can go ahead and you can customize the attribute.
Okay, in sandboxes we will be able to get that thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so we are going to do the sandboxes itself in the class.
Yes. So sandbox, we will cover, the basic stuff of the sandboxes. Okay, where you can easily achieve what the requirement you have generally. Okay. Now coming to the field labels, right? Let's take an example. Your business is looking for that, certain attribute name. Let's take an example in order management. In order management, generally they have, the customer purchase. They generally, mention in a seeded as a purchase order, but it's not a purchase order. It's a customer purchase order number. So customer can, want, and they are looking for that. Now you can change that name to make as a customer purchase order number. So you can change the label, the text, entire color combinations. Even though you can zoom it, entire stuffs you can do with having all this composer. Then, as I mentioned, new objects, so all those things, and then no coding needed. So there are no specific, PL SQL package and lot of stuffs, no need to do if you have the basic understanding, because these are sandboxes very critical. Okay, it's not something, straightforward you can get it and you can do and play with the sandboxes, because any attribute or any logic, any certain conditions go wrong, it will stop entire functionality, your pages. And once you publish the sandbox, you cannot revert it. Once you published means published, and then again you have to, create new, and then you have to look at what all changes you have done. And if you are unable to recall back or revert back all those changes, then you have to reach out to Oracle. So my advice is that, see and understand the requirement, and only based on the what can be achievable easily, right, within having the sandbox, those things you can commit with your business. Otherwise, don't commit, because anything goes wrong, ultimately you will be, uh, be pointed for that. And second advice is that when you play with the sandboxes, first you perform, without publishing. You have an option. You can test your functionality, whether it's working for you, fine. If you are fine with that, what business has asked, and that is working as fine and as expected, then only you publish your sandbox. Because certain sandbox and with tool, you can impact entire user or maybe a specific user. Let's take an example. If I talk about, you want, entire user, then you don't need to have, you can directly go and based on the business, or maybe without the business, you can do the hide or read only or whatever you want, or field extension and anything. But sometimes business requires that I want that certain role can access that certain page, or maybe certain functionality, certain component, or certain functionality or task to be viewed for certain user only. Then you have to write your sandbox, the conditions. When you design your sandbox, you using the page composer, then you have to write the condition based on the rules, because you have to customize the role, and based on that only you are triggering all those systems. Okay. All right. Now coming to the business intelligence report composer, as I mentioned, right? So you can design the dashboards, info tiles. You can design the customer for the customer and customs, and you can use it. You can do the hyperlink, deep link within the OTBI reports, even though the BIP reports as well. All right. So this is what we talk about the page composer and extend your business process. So let's take an example. If you want, certain username to be captured within the extensive flex field, so you can, do that as well. Even though, you have the extension, you can use the extension. Page composer, you can customize. So we will see that. So personalize, localize, customize, and extend your page. So this is what the meaning of the page composer. So basically the stuff you can personalize. If you want anything to be removed, you can do. You can change the label. You can change the color. So entire stuffs, we will see that. Okay. All right. Let me move to the administrative customization. So all those things means entirely. So it is not recommended that you go extensive customization, because if you don't know, then anything go wrong. So do it, start with the little bit, and once you are familiar, then go ahead what you want. Because certain tools require specific skill set like Java, and Groovy script knowledge, right? And if you don't have it, all those, then it's quite difficult, because if you write down any extensions and you don't know about the Groovy script, then your order management will go, it stops working. So certain tools require dedicated skill set. So if you have, you can achieve what you are looking for. All right. So customization. So customization. These are the the customization supported within the Oracle Fusion application, but still certain things are not uh, implemented or not supported by the Oracle module. So if I talked about the HRMS will support certain functionality, whereas if you are looking all those functionality to be implemented into the supply chain, you won't have it, because Page does not support. Page does not have all those attributes. Okay, so whenever you have the requirement, first you explore whether that requirement can be achievable, then only commit with your customer. Because generally, Oracle has, the lot of the customizations available in the project management side, in the HRMS side. Now slowly they are moving toward the supply chain and the financial side. It will take time, right? So page composer, branding customization. So any business will have, certain color combinations, branding to look and feel, or maybe news. HR want, some, uh, uh, their business or organization news to be published, videos to be published to their page. They can do that. Then object customization, business process customization, security customization. As I mentioned, security general certain field not to be viewed by contractor, because business will have the contractor also, and they hired just for the data entry, but they don't want, at what price they are purchasing their purchase, the materials. So while receiving, they don't want, all those price to be viewed. They want entire stuffs to be hidden. Only just this look at the PO quantity, and then PO line item, the description, quantity, and they can go ahead and receive it. So you can hide, because those security they want, right? Business intelligence already I talked about, and help with the customization. So you can also add, certain help instructions, instructions also to fill out, to select all those values. So all those steps available within the Oracle Fusion. So we will cover that. All right. So if you looked at, this is little bit elaborated, related to the page composer tool, what you can achieve with having the page composers. Okay, so add, move, delete, so hide component on the page, change a page layout, create a site level search for all users, customize a page title, customize a task list menu, customize dialog box content, add fields, buttons, link to standard page. So let's take an example. If you want, business generally ask you and request you, I don't want to go via navigating reports and analytics to view my reports. I want that report to be visible to my dashboards. So whenever I logged in, I want my report to be displayed. I don't want to navigate because it's hectic for me. So in such cases, you can create custom page, and you can link your OTBI report, your BIP report to the page, so that they can directly access from the UI itself, from the home page, from the custom page. Then customize attribute for flex fields on a page. So any customization if you are looking for, then you can also achieve with having the page composers. All right. These are the other things which you can achieve is having the page composer. So customize attribute for flex field, customize properties for user interface, then customize properties for UI component on a standard page, then customize the UI cell template, customize text string wherever it appears across all pages, look and feel of simplified pages, changes the announcement on the simplified home page. So let's take an example. Recently, business has requested to the Oracle that they are looking for the clone from the production to the development environment or their test environment. But when they are cloning, then both the environment will have same the look and feel. So it might be possible that during the UAT as well as the production environment, user will have the same username and password. So how you will differentiate both the UI, the look and feel? So all those functionality, the message, you can pop up and populate to the home page, so that whenever user logged in, they know, okay, it's a clone environment. I have to log in directly to the production, so that all those accidental things you can avoid that. So we will see that. All right. Now coming more, there are the functionality, the supporting. So application composers, so like customize objects, then add an attribute to the business object using the flex fields, right? So flex fields in the setup and maintenance, so we can access all those descriptive flex field. Generally, we don't have the concept in the Oracle Cloud, the key flex fields, right? So basically, extensible flex field is more advanced than the key flex fields. Generally, in ABS, we heard that key flex fields descriptive flex fields, right, to capture additional information from the business, what they have the requirement. Same way in the Oracle cloud, what we have the extensible flex field. Extensible flex field support, if you are doing the service mapping and you want, any data elements to be flown from order management to the shipping to your ER. So all those things can be achievable with having the extensible flex field. Sorry. Now add a business object page to the navigator menu. So any page you can
Hello?
add, you can, yes, go ahead.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you again in the mid. Actually, I want to know that you told that like there is service mappings over there. So may I know what do you understand by that? Like what
Yeah,
I basically correlate with
yes.
that?
Yeah, so basically service mapping, if I say, if you heard that in EBS, right? In EBS, generally business will have the requirement that, from the order, a certain attribute they want, to be populated automatically to the AR while generating the invoice field, correct? In an AR transaction.
Yes,
Same way,
yes,
Oracle has given, but to achieve that in EBS, you have to do lot of, complex PL SQL code and lot of personalizations you have to do. Now in Oracle Fusion, what Oracle does, basically Oracle provided service mappings. We'll talk about that, but we'll not go into the detail. So we'll talk about that. All those service mapping given by, because it's depend on the business requirement. So it's not as usual, standard service mappings. So let's take an example. Business has requested that I am capturing certain, the attribute from the third party system while interfacing my order. And all those line level information I want to be flown while my generating invoice into the AR. So Oracle has provided service mapping where you have to define your service mapping, your attribute mapping, your custom attribute, what EFF you have defined, and you map with the AR service mappings. So what will happen once you publish that, whenever you create order, you shipped it and you build it, automatically those attributes will flow to the AR. So you don't need entire, the PL SQL logic. You can achieve with having the service mapping itself. So if I talk about,
okay.
one simple example, generally Oracle Fusion. So if you have a question in mind, right? In EBS, we do have order types and all, right? Whether order types are required really in Oracle Fusion? No. So order type can be defined and can be, configured if business needed. But without order type, also you can place an order in Oracle Fusion. And let's talk about the pricing. If you heard that the pricing is also can be defined, can be configured, at various attribute level, various metrics level. So let's take an example. If you want, your pricing to be triggered based on the order type. So you have to go with the service mapping only. You have to enable all your custom attribute. Then only you will be able to achieve that requirement. You won't get it from the seeded product itself. So you have to do the service mapping for that. I hope that I
Okay.
clarified. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So we covered that workflows, the object customization, safe searches, validations. All right. Now these all are related to the the customization, setup and maintenance, application composer related, all the securities. So securities means, if you want, certain things, right, to be hidden, or maybe, if we talk about, we do have, single enterprise structure, correct? But business want that two entity to be on same enterprise structure. So you cannot have more enterprise structure. You can have only one enterprise structure. Okay. But you can have many of entities, right, to the Oracle Cloud. So let's take an example. Business will have, two entity, but they want, all those geographies not to be seen any of the data. So let's say UK will have one entity and US will have another entity. But US user logged in, then they don't want their data to be shared with the UK team, or UK don't want it to be shared with the US team. So you can, define your data access, legislative data access, where you can, the change the common set or customizes one for the UK. So any attribute you are configuring for the UK, it will be visible to the UK because you provided the data access to the UK set. If you have
सर
defined for, yes,
सॉरी
yes.
सर, एक्चुअली इसमें हम यूज़र भी तो क्रिएट कर सकते हैं सर, कि मतलब अगर हमें यूके और उसका अलग अलग करना है तो आई थिंक ईबीएस में हम यूज़र क्रिएट करते थे तो
Yes. Yeah, coming to that. So in Fusion, you can create the user. User also you can give the provision, give the data access to their entity, but certain attribute will be common. So let's take an example. One of the example related to the security. Okay, payment term. Certain payment term, right, will be dedicated to the US only. But if you use the common set, then US can also see that data because it's required by them. Whereas if UK user logged in, UK user also can see all those common set data because you define all those attributes within the common set. So if you have certain requirement related to distinguish the data, distinguish between the price list, then you can go ahead and customize all those set and achieve this requirement. If business not having such requirement, then let it be, no problem with that, because certain geographies will have their dedicated localization, compliances, and they have to fulfill it. If I talk about, one of the example, the Denmark. So Denmark will have their own local compliances, and they don't want, to expose anything or don't want to share anything, even though within their, own entity itself. So they want, to be secure, as well as, with limit to the Denmark entity only. They cannot share with their sister company as well, even though products are same and everything. So those things will come. So then only you can go ahead with that. But yes, based on the user, you can control the data access. That is there. Now security, if I talk about, right, you can face certain challenges, right? Let's take an example. Business want that I don't want my report to be shared with another my sister company, because that report belongs to me, because you don't have, certain control within the report parameter itself. You cannot stop it, you cannot hide it, you cannot control it. So if you publish your report, it can be visible to entire globally. So in certain cases, you have to, write an query, and within that query, you have to control based on the data securities. So what data security, what inventory organization, what business unit that particular user belongs to, then only that data, that report will be visible to that particular user. So there are a lot of complex things come when you go with the implementation phase. All right. So these are the related to the business intelligence customization. So related to create report layout, then customize the report layout. So existing reports you can't change. So one of the most important stuff in the Oracle Fusion, you cannot change seeded stuff. What I mean, let's take example, purchase order report, or maybe order in the sales order side. There is a sales order report given, which can provide, order booking detail, whatever the item you entered. So you cannot add customer logos to that. You cannot change any attribute anything. All such cases, what you have to do, you have to copy it into your custom folder. So we'll talk about that when we go with the OTBI stuffs and all. So we'll look at how to create and all. So where in the custom folder, you have to copy it into dedicated folder where you can customize it and then you can publish. And whenever it trigger, then it will redirect to your custom folder, not the seeded one. Seeded won't allow at all. Okay. Then create a report subject area to use the OTBI. Then customization analysis, you can create a OTBI report as well as dashboards, infolates. Then the customize the dashboards. So help customization will be the tool can be used to customize text that is displayed when the user hovers over a button. So let's take an example. Business don't know. Generally, you face such challenges when you have the French customer, you don't know French, or sometimes what happened that that French customer or the user don't know English at all. They speak into French only. So it's quite difficult, for them also, to navigate, the menus, the button, or what actions to be performed. Then you can use this functionality to put some instruction into their local language so that they are able easily to understand and navigate it. Okay. Oracle Cloud Applications. Okay. So basically, as I talk about, right, these SaaS, software as a service. So it's a public cloud. You can access from anywhere. The platform as a service, right? So what it does basically, platform as a service, it provides access to the business user to create custom application over the, the VBCS, support or achieve the integration as a middleware. So any business having minimum integration as well, even though 2, 3, they have to go with the SaaS as well as the PaaS. But the charges won't be based on the SaaS or PaaS or number of integrations. Basically, it will be based on the volume, the data packets. Okay. Now we talk about the infrastructure as a service, right? So where they have infrastructure entirely within their dedicated premise. So if you are away from that premise, you won't be able to access it. Those challenges will come generally with the government entity, or if I talk about the insurance companies, generally big insurance companies, they don't want to be exposed their data because it's very critical, or medical data, right? They don't want, right? They want entire stuff to be belongs to their premise. So data as a service, right? So we talked about already. Okay. So this is how the cloud, the computing entire is happening with having to build this application. So basically, Oracle application is hosted with having the cloud computing, right? So you are not accessing directly to the server, but application is hosted to that server. So it's virtually mimic that actual application. So whatever you are performing, it will get in the backend, it will get sync with the server. Okay. So if you heard that, right, whenever you are creating any user, or you are providing them the access, then there might be, you heard that, right, you have to run the LDAP, right? So what it does basically, it sync with the server, the new user, it create into their directory in the server, right, and provide that, okay, that particular user will have now this access. So you sync and refresh. It will be within a friction of second, millisecond. You won't realize that. So sometimes, you know, you won't see the reflect all those changes. Let's take an example. If you have the role assigned as a order manager, and you won't see order management immediately, even though you run the LDAP. Sometimes you have to, you know, log out and log in. So it's clear the cache because it's publicly hosted, right? Virtually, right? So it's not. So it's you know, millisecond. You won't realize that. Okay. So we talked about software as a service, and you know, the licensing and delivery model in which software is licensed on a subscription basis. So whatever the you do the subscription. So let's take an example. A business will have the requirement only just financial to be used, whereas in EBS, Oracle is charging, and you know, the customer has to take entire license, whether they are using or not using. But in Oracle Cloud, it provides the flexibility to the customer that if they have the need to the only financial, then they can go ahead with the financial only. They don't need to take supply chain, other module itself. If they need just financial data to be captured, then they can go ahead with the financial. If they have the HRMS need, then if you go into, you know, Saudi side, right, you will see that there are a lot of customers implemented HRMS because they have need only HRMS to fulfill. So they're implementing only HRMS. They are not looking for the supply chain or the financial data. So those are the flexibility provided by the Oracle. So you will be charged based on subscription. Whatever you subscribe, you implement, you will be charged on that. And it's centrally hosted. Okay. It is sometimes referred to as an on-demand software, right? SaaS is typically accessed by users using a thin client via web browser. So like you are Googling or your gmail.com, right? You are suffering right over the internet, right? Then same way, it's a web browser based application. You can just type your environment detail. You can get it entire login inside the application and you can use it. Now, Oracle Software as a Service, so modern cloud application from Oracle help you reimagine your business. The best of breed SaaS application in Oracle Cloud are integrated with social, mobile, and analytic capabilities. So certain report you can design, you can get it access from your mobile itself. So easily it will be, you know, your user interface, your OTBI, your report interface will be changed what mobile supported the dimensions. So those are the capabilities available within the Oracle application. It's help you to deliver the experiences, customer expectations, the talent to succeed, and the performance to the market demand. One most important thing is that Oracle generally there are no you know, the breakdown or no maintenance shutdown, but it's minimum to minimum. Sometime, you know, when there is a critical patch comes or critical bug fixing they do during the quarterly, or maybe, you know, after patching, or maybe monthly it's comes sometime, but it's very limited time, and they do, you know, upfront update to the administrator that, you know, system won't be available, you know, that's so and so time frame. So business is aware, okay, that, and generally they don't do shut down their applications for any patching, any activity during their business hours. So that policy Oracle generally you know, applies. So they do in non-working hours where business is not working at all, and they do upfront notifications. Right? Now, if we talk about the customer experiences, so these all are, you know, supported marketing, sales, service, the price, quote, CPQ, commerce, human capital management, right? Where do we do have, you know, couple of the module, the services available within that product itself. As well as, you know, if we talk about the supply chain management, so supply chain management, we do have, you know, the logistic, right? You can fulfill your material to the end customers, or your B2B, B2C, and then inventory and cost management, order management, product lifecycle management, product master data management, and then procurement. Enterprise resource planning, if we talk about the financial,
सर
yes. Hmm.
ये सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट में हम ये सारा पढ़ेंगे क्या, लॉजिस्टिक्स, इन्वेंटरी, कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट?
Yes, in supply chain, so basically what we touch base, I'll come to the syllabus, right? What we are going to cover entire stuff, so you know what we are going to cover. Okay. All right. So if we talk about enterprise resource planning, so if you, Oracle generally provide the bill of material, BOM. Okay. Generally, you will be, during the implementation phase, or maybe you are discussing and you heard that BOM will come. So BOM is basically bill of material, entire what the services customer is taking, what the contract is signed, right? Based on that BOM, you will see all those subscriptions. So enterprise resource planning. So whenever you heard the enterprise resource planning, means entire financial will come into that packet. Okay, within that subscription. Okay. All right. Now, industry solutions. Okay, so if we talk about, so communication industries, like any there are a lot of companies supported the communication. So all those communication services move to the Oracle Cloud. Financial services, any companies belongs to financial, they can move to the Oracle Cloud. Oracle Cloud supports consumer goods. They can also high tech and manufacturing and higher education also. So all those industries can move, and they design entire to support. So they are still, as I mentioned, they are still evolving and enhancing their product. So it will be available immediately to all the customer and supported to the entire customers. Analytics, if we talk about SCM analytics supported, CRM analytics, ERP analytics, and SCM analytics. So these are the analytics supported within the Oracle Fusion. And then enterprise performance management, so planning and budgeting, enterprise performance reporting, industry clouds, financial services, and public sector. Social network, social marketing, social engagement, and monitoring. So these are, so you can, if you are implementing the HRMS, then HRMS can be linked with the LinkedIn, the social media. So you can get that feed directly to the Oracle Fusion application as well. Generally, it uses for the, let's take example, LinkedIn, any user has, applied for the job. So directly that feed will come to the recruiter for the review. Once they review, then it will go to the hiring manager. Hiring manager will pass that, schedule for the interview, or it's qualified for the interview. Then, so there are, many flows available. Okay. Now this is what the difference is, okay, between the platform as a service versus on-premise software. Okay, so before the rise of the SaaS, software as a service solution, enterprise software was delivered via on-premise installation. Okay, customers would buy the software license, the hardware servers to run it on, find office space to store the servers, and hire staff to manage it all. Right. All this was designed long before the rise of the internet, right? Because earlier, internet was so costly, data, so costly. Now it's, digital era, and technologies are evolving day by day. Suddenly, there is you can see that trend is changing globally. So earlier, entire will be, space, then hire lots of, data administrator, technical staff. So all those maintenance and lot of, complexity involved. Now everything will be simplified. While expensive on-premise solution, because it's very expensive, because you have to, if your business runs 24/7, then you have to manage, 3 to 4 database, including database administrator or manager. So 4 resources are there. Now, if you opted for this SaaS, sorry, you don't have to hire any database administrator at all. Don't need database manager. Oracle will take care on the behalf of you because they are managing entire. Then did provide the flexibility to tailor the application to specific customer needs, creating the ever popular term customization. Because if we do implement, first of all, customer will put that whether that customization can be achievable, or this is what my custom requirement that can be supported by your application or not. So customers enjoyed the flexibility to customize the application any way they wanted. But an unintended consequences soon arose when it came time to upgrade to a newer version. All those customization made upgrading extremely complex, because if you uh, look at the EBs, when you design any complex solution to the form, D2K form you are designing, and let's say you complex design the solution, and when there is a new upgrade comes or customer decided to move to the new upgrade, then whenever there is an upgrade comes, you have to thoroughly test your custom component, and most of the time all those custom component will fail. So that is drastically, the roadblock for the customer. Now in Oracle Fusion, you don't need to do entire, overthinking that, if I have designed my custom solutions, if there is any upgrade, it will stop or it will be become roadblocker for me to have. But it's advised that whenever there is any upgrade or any patch comes, generally you do thorough testing. So that will be designate to the customer what customer is looking for, or whatever your implementation, the contractual terms with the customers. Now upgrading is extremely complex, time consuming and expensive also, because you have to hire and then 3-4 months will go subsequent testing, and then it will be passed, and then finally it will move. So much so that many choose to stay on older version. So what happen in those cases? Sometime when you give cost to the customer will look at, okay, I need, I have to pay 20 lakhs for this upgrade. No, I don't want to spend 20 lakhs. Let it be. I will be, with the older version, whether there is a bug or there is an enhanced functionality, I don't want, I will be okay with my, existing custom component. Okay. So they are not, really using what features will have, the product itself, because it's too expensive for them. Through an upgrade, basically their customization made it nearly impossible to upgrade to a newer version. So that in nutshell, if I say. But in Oracle Fusion, the past, there won't be any challenges. So these are the services, a platform as a service, database, messaging, document, business intelligence, big data, Internet of Things. We do have Oracle, then process, NoSQL database integrations. Java, database backup, developer, mobile, big data preparation, big data discovery, Java standard, Node.js, application builder. So basically what it means, let's take an example. If you have a requirement to have custom workflow, which is not available, and generally while doing the implementation, you feel all those challenges that, okay, we don't have workflow, how I can go ahead with that? Because let's take an example, one of the example, if third-party application, that is also DMS system. Now, when dealer punch the data, it has to go to the marketing head for an approval. But when you do generally integration, whenever they punch the data, it directly interface to the Oracle Fusion. But business has required, no, I want, it has to go to the approval, right? Or certain checks to be done to the sales team, then how to achieve that? And that cannot be import and then trigger the approval. Then what you will do? So Oracle Platform as a Service will provide the Process Cloud service, which help you to design workflow. So let's take an example, DMS. In the DMS system, dealer punch the data, it will flow directly the workflow, it will trigger the workflow. with having all the data, there will be a page, there will be notification sent to the marketing head. It will review, and then once he reviews the data, that will flow to their sales team, the channel partner. Once they approve, then it will be come to the Oracle Fusion. So means it's firm order, and now logistic team can proceed with the fulfillment. So there are a lot of the flexibility available within the pass. You can customize, you can design the page, you can do what you are looking for. Okay, this is what the IaaS, right? Infrastructure as a service is a form of cloud computing that provide virtualized computing resources over the internet. IaaS is one of the three main categories of cloud computing services alongside software as a service and platform as a service. So this is the the main service, right? So IaaS will provide and help business user to access the their instance, their environment over the internet. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure as a service offers a set of core infrastructure capabilities like elastic compute and storage to provide customers the ability to run any workload in the cloud. So basically, it helps to customer whatever the load, the high volume data they have, they can directly and manage within the server. So easily customer can punch their data, load their data, and it will proceed in the system. Now, compute and storage. So elastic compute capacity to address growing business needs, right? So basically, why cloud computing used, right? So it's address growing business needs, right? There are a lot of business, different nature of business, right? So entire data to manage. So they are using the compute and storage, online storage at your fingertips. So whenever you need your data, you can get it, you can write your query, you can get it your real-time data. Or you can go with the OTBI, you can create your report anytime, you can extract your data. And data also available online. So you don't need to have hard copies of it, right? Entire the data will be available online digitally. So let's take an example. Anything happen, anything wrong to the business, the premise, then you don't have any data where you can get it. That I have how many the cash we have to recover to the end customer because entire data lost. Maybe flood come, right? Any thing happen. But if your data is available digitally, you can access anytime your data from anywhere. Now time is Q&A. Anything with this overview?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
May I know? Yeah. May I know what kind of what topics we are going to touch in the whole course? As you said.
Yes. I'm coming to that. Okay. Just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, I hope that it's visible.
Yes.
Yes,
It is.
Yeah. So basically, what we are going to cover, right? We will be covering, product management, then inventory management, order management, then distributed order or session, self-service procurement, purchasing, costing, OTBI, FBDI template, explanation and overview of PO, SO, PICSLIP, PACSLIP formats. So basically, we will be covering, touch base entire, the SCM related stuff. Now coming to the functional setup and manager and common SCM application configuration. So setup, user creation, role, types of role, predefined roles, right? So we will be sharing all those predefined roles available in the system, right? Then custom roles, how to create custom roles, reference data set, right? How you can distinguish your data, not to share each other entities, enterprise structure, then the general ledger, legal entity, business unit, inventory organization, sub-inventory, and locators. So we will be covering financial side, the high level stuff related to business, because you are more into the supply chain, so you don't need to configure entire thing in the implementation phase. Generally your implementation will start from the inventory organizations in the supply chain side.
Will
So
we
generally,
will we cover these basic terminologies from the
Mhm.
scratch, or
Mhm.
are you
Yes.
assuming like we already know EBS and we are into floating,
uh,
like how this is going to be?
Yeah, so basically, if you want, I can cover if you don't have the idea. Otherwise, I can cover. If you have the idea, then we can start from the supply chain directly.
Actually, I had an idea, but it's just like I just wanted if we can brush up the concepts once
Hmm.
from the scratch so that it's easy for us to cope up with the new concepts.
Okay. Okay. All right. So will we touch base to the business unit? Okay. So basically, from the business unit and all those concept we will cover, right, at the high level. Will not go into the financial as a detail, right? And then we'll switch to the supply chain. What is our core agenda? Okay. Now business user creation, then roles assignment, data access, task assignment to the consultant, tracking the project completion status, right? Feature enablement at the offering level. So how you can initially start your implementation. So let's say you get it onboarded to the project when you have the vanilla, the from the scratch you are implementing any business. You don't have any offerings enable, how you do subscribe, right? So entire stuff we will be covering. Now coming to the product management, so we will be covering item classes, item template, life cycle, then item profile, categories, unit of measure, then item class, descriptive flag speed, item status, item type, item descriptive flag speeds, item import. Okay. Now coming to the inventory transaction and feature. So inventory profiling, inventory lookup, descriptive flag speed, transaction reasons, picking, inter-organization parameter, miscellaneous, sub-inventory, movement request, inter-organization, inventory control, serial control, lot control, planning method, counting method, cycle counting, and physical counting. Now coming to the pricing side. So pricing, so what all components available in the pricing side, then the flow, how to determine the pricing, what all the prerequisites are required for the pricing, and then describe the segment strategies. We will cover that. And the pricing rule, pricing metrics, algorithm, we will see at the high level what is algorithm, right, where to use and all, because those are customer requirement specific. Okay. Manage price list, discount list, right? Generally these things we will be covering into the pricing. Now coming to the order management, manage order profile, order lookup, descriptive flag speed, management parameter, release sequence, pick wave, bill of landing, shipping parameter, manage shipping, payment term, process constant, transformation of order approval. Okay. These are business flows. Typically we will be cover end to end. Okay. So when we say these flow, so these are the standard flows available across the business. So generally business will have either drop ship or maybe drop ship back to back both, or standard as well, correct? Or maybe only back to back or only drop ship. But if we go to drop ship, then automatically you have to have the idea flavor of the procurement side stuff. Okay. We will be covering the order orchestration, where we will see how many the standard the seeded orchestration available, how to customize it at some extent. Okay. Because generally the order orchestration customization is required business specific use cases. Okay. So we will see that. Now from the global order promising side, right, sourcing rule, assignment side, ATP, all those we will be covering. And then purchasing setup, so entire purchasing and self-service setups we will cover, and will flow one end-to-end the self-service as well as the procurement side. Okay, so this is what we will be covering. And SSP, as I mentioned, and then costing. So basic costing setup we will be covering, so that entire the SCM basically with having this course completion, you will be enough developed, to implement any entity